The following is a presentation of The Day.
Welcome on a Saturday evening to Alumni Gymnasium on the campus of Norwich Free Academy for a top 10 battle in the state of Connecticut, featuring the ECC's #1 team and #1 team in the state, the NFA Wildcats, playing host to a championship team in the Bacon Academy Bobcats. And we'll have it all live for you tonight on Game Day. Game Day is brought to you by Waterford Dental Health. At Waterford Dental Health, your smile and your health are our top priority. Voted the #1 best dental practice 6 years in a row by the day's Best of the Best Reader's Choice Awards. Casey O'Neill, along with the sports. Whoa! Wait a minute, it's the sports psychologist, Mike DeMoro, joining us tonight. Mike, great to see you. And I mean, we've had such a topsy-turvy boys here. We don't know who the teams are. We know who the team is in the ECC, and we think we know who the second team is that are playing tonight.
Yeah, it makes it much easier, doesn't it? Hey, yeah, this is 1 versus 7. You can't ask for any more than that.
We've been trying to figure out who the best teams are all year long. We know NFA's won, but Bacon Academy has a chance tonight, and they're no strangers to state championships there either. We will talk all about that on the other side of the national anthem.
NFA freshman, Ms. Willow Ludlow.
Whose day can you see? By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we walked, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting near, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Mike, I think because of Bacon's proximity, that people don't even know where it is necessarily in southeastern Connecticut, up in Colchester. People don't realize that outside of NFA, there is no team in the ECC with as many championships and a pedigree as this Bacon Academy team. I mean, from Dave Shea passed now on down to John Shea, there's 800 wins over there with multiple state championships. They were in the ECC final last year. And this is a team that has a championship pedigree, and so we always think about the New London NFAs or the Ledyard NFAs. This team right here has every right to believe they are the best team in the league.
Okay, since the CIAC went to having the finals at the Sun, Bacon has actually won more times at the Sun than NFA has.
Bacon's returning a senior and, well, I should say an upper class laden team. They have a young star. You want to keep your eye on Marissa Nudd. Everyone remembers her older sister, who's playing college basketball currently, Kelly Nudd, but she is outstanding. There's Victoria Violette, and into the lineup, Caitlin Shea, and Bacon running a little weave. Nudd with the basketball up top, and they'll reset with Lazat. She gets a high screen over to Violette, and they'll rerun the offense. Now, last year, Lutzy, the junior, was not in that game at Mohegan Sun. She was out with an ankle injury. She's back. And Mike, talk a little bit about Bacon's schedule, if you will, this year.
Yeah, Case, they've been, this is only the third time they've been on the floor since February 15th. So how are their legs?
Nice move by Ingram and a rebound by Daly, but couldn't get it to go. So yeah, Bacon's, just trying to get their legs underneath them at this point.
Yeah, and we saw the first time they had the ball. The timing on the pick and roll just wasn't there.
Yeah, they'll run a pretty complicated offense. A lot of motion, a lot of high screens. NFA playing man-to-man. Violet dumps down to Shea. Bacon will be without junior Emma Mancuso. She was an unfortunate recipient of a broken nose, and it's a shame because she's worked really hard. Her mom is a youth coach in Colchester, and Emma's a great kid, and she'll be back soon, hopefully. On the drive, no good is Nud. Rebound Varela, and NFA will push. Varela gets a screen, goes to the basket for two. That was a nice screen by Ingram, and Varela with the first basket of the game.
Yeah, she may be the quickest kid on the floor.
Nud with a double dribble. She wanted to make the pass. NFA's been playing very good basketball. New #1 team in the state. Really unchallenged so far in league play. And Bacon, it's a tough test when you've only had 2 games and 2 practices since they came off of a quarantine.
Hey, in case you know, NFA wins out, they probably finish #1.
That's right. And in the ECC tournament, they could be seeing these teams again. Basket is good, and the foul. And Nija Ingram, she'll get the foul on Shea, and she'll go to the line to shoot with a bonus.
I think you see Courtney Gomez's strategy right there. Get the ball to the basket.
Yeah, every time they've had the ball, they've tried to attack the rim. Ingram will have the bonus. And she'll finish it, so a quick 5-0 run to start the game. Shea drives to the basket, pulls up in the paint, short, tipped. And we're going to get a foul. If that's on Shea, that's going to be her second early foul. And quite honestly,
It is on Shea Case.
I don't think that's a very good call. I don't think she was near the ball. I don't think she banged into anybody at all.
NFA straight man right now. I think Gomez thinks she has the athletic advantage here, and she is going to take advantage of it.
So Caitlin Shea heads to the bench, and Kara Shea comes into the game, the freshman. If you look and see where there's a Shea, and there's a drive to the basket, and a nice job taking the charge. That's not bad. You come into the game, and how do you get yourself,
plowed over? Yeah.
You get run into.
But sometimes those are the things, kid. You need that to get you going.
Well, she's certainly involved now. Bacon needs to get a good shot, and I think they got to get the ball in the Nud's hands. Tough pass. Nicely done. Saved by Erickson. And pushing now is Varela. She is so quick with the ball. She tried to get it down low to Daly, which she had Erickson on the wing. Last time we saw Erickson, she was making 3-pointers left and right. Lutzy's on her. There's Erickson. Quick trigger 3. Back iron, no good. Ball tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with NFA off the hands of Shea.
I think that's, run Erickson off a little down screen and get the ball to the hoop, and there's your offense.
Yeah, Cassidy White and Caitlin Daly are the consummate role players, because really what they're looking to do is exactly that. Get Varela involved, get Ingram involved, and Erickson's going to be a player. Here comes Nud the other way for Bacon. So those big 3, Varela's quickness, Erickson's shooting and athleticism, and Ingram's ability to score around the basket, and then everybody else plays their role, and there's why they're so good.
Absolutely.
Pump fake, Lazat to the basket. No call. Ball was tipped. Swings up top. Now here goes Nud to the basket. And there's the first basket for Bacon, Marissa Nud.
The water's part.
There goes Erickson. Now she'll kick to Varela. See, that tells you everything you need to know about Varela right there. She had a wide open 3, and instead She chose to not take the shot, finds a cutting white instead. That's a playmaker. Most kids would have taken that wide open three. It's a lot to know your strengths.
That's why you want the ball in the hands of seniors.
There's a steal by Erickson. She does not have the numbers, so let's see what she does. Kicks it back to Varela. Pump fake, drives, finds herself in no man's land, and nice job by Lutzy to stand her ground.
So, mask break.
Well, we have a mask break and a 7-2 NFA lead. Come on back the other side. You're watching Game Day Live.
Okay, class. What do you want to be when you grow up? Jace.
I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be a ballerina. I want to be an astronaut. I want to be homeless. I want to hear scary voices no one else can hear. I want to be addicted to drugs. I want to be an actress. I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be an actress. I want to be a football player. I want to be an actor.
Not one child has dreams of these things becoming a reality. Sometimes choices are set before we even have a voice.
With Sound Community Services, I found my voice.
Five-point NFA lead here in the early part of the ball game. Late first quarter, 3.5 minutes left, and Bacon will have the basketball off of a turnover.
So I have a question for Coach Casey O'Neill now. If you're going to run the kind of an offense that John Shea likes to run, it is about timing and rhythm, which means that being off for a few weeks is not helpful.
No, it's really not. Left-handed, no good by Lutzy, and a foul on the floor. It'll stay here. I believe that foul will go against NFA. Yeah, Mike, you know, it's like anything else. It takes repetitions. Now, these girls have been playing together for, you know, a couple of years, and many of them for 4, 5, 6 years. But the system that they run here at Bacon, even if you know the system, it's a timing thing. It's, you know, similar, you know, if I were to, you know, use the NFL, a quarterback can know the system, but if he hasn't thrown any passes, then it's a whole timing thing, right? So right now they're trying to get their timing. They know where they're supposed to go with the ball. They're just having a hard time, and you can't recreate the speed and the athleticism that NFA is throwing at them. Straightaway three, no good. Rebound comes down to Honey Carter, and we're going to get a jump ball. Possession arrow favors NFA. You can't recreate. That's why I think the NFA boys give teams so many fits, because you can't replicate what they do in that 3-2 zone. When you practice against it, you don't have Max Pierre-Louis. You don't have a guy with the size or quickness of an outlaw, so you can't recreate it. Bacon right now, they've only been able to practice twice coming off of quarantine, and they don't have any way to replicate what NFA's thrown at them. There goes Varela to the basket, tries to zip it underneath to Daly, and it was intercepted. Up ahead, and Bacon will reset. Shea with the basketball. There goes Nud, baseline. Coach John Shea yelling, move the ball. There's an open look for Nud. Three, back iron, no good. There's Lazat, and she got tied up. The possession arrow will stay here as Varela tied up Lazat, and it'll stay here.
You notice they moved the ball and got an open three.
Yeah, and Nud.
Listen to your coach.
And Nud, you know, that's about as good as she can ask for. A beautiful inbound pass, cutting to the basket is Nud. Feed from Violet. Easy bucket. Good hands by Violet. Erickson loses it out of bounds, and it'll stay NFA ball. And checking back into the game for NFA, well, actually for the first time, will be Cynthia Danaeus, and she will give Honey Carter a break.
I wonder how much boxing one NFA has seen with Erickson being able to shoot the way she does.
There's a steal. Nud. Up ahead it goes to Lutzy. And great hustle defense by Erickson. It'll be Bacon ball, but way to hustle back.
I'm not saying they're in a boxing one. I just more of a, gee, I wonder if that's is that something that you can teach in a shortened year?
Yes. Now to be really good at it? No. Another great inbounds pass. Shea knocks it down from a great pass from Violet. Again, Violet is great on those inbound passes.
Bacon is starting to find itself here.
Well, there's the key right there. Defending Erickson, step back. Back iron, no good. Tipped. And there's Daly. Can't finish. And there's a strong rebound coming out from Violet. Oh, there's a cutting nudge. Shea instead bangs the jumper. Freshman Kara Shea knocking it down. Bacon with their first lead of the game.
It's a 6-0 run.
Bacon's been known to, they are a known hard man team. They will play man-to-man against anybody. They don't throw a lot of wrinkles. And I think that against NFA, I actually think the best defense, if you have a person who can guard Varela, if you have the kind of guard who can stop Varela's penetration, I think you can play man against NFA because Erickson's a great player, but you can stop a shooter because she doesn't put it on the floor as much. You're going to give up some baskets to Ingram, but if you can keep Varela from getting to the basket, I think you can play man against that.
Yeah, you live with that.
I think where it becomes problematic is when you play zone against them. They run such great sets to free up Erickson, and then it allows their size to get those long offensive rebounds. They become really problematic. There's Erickson, long three at the buzzer, got it! Sarah Erickson on cue, drains the three to give NFA the lead as we end the first period. We will be back with second quarter action. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
At The Day, our journalists are in your community, talking with business owners, attending town meetings, analyzing data, talking to government leaders, reporting on the issues that matter most to you. Since 1881, we have been serving our community and will continue to do so 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Never miss a day of news. Enjoy convenient home delivery right to your doorstep, 7 days a week. Subscribe at theday.com/membership.
10-8 NFA at the end of one here back at Norwich Free Academy. Mike DeMoro to my right. Casey O'Neill here at Alumni Gymnasium. And Mike, you said Bacon started to get their feet under him a little bit. And Erickson's three certainly, right now this is the old Tom Brady Patriots finish the first half, get the ball in the second half. Knock down the three and get the ball to start the second quarter. Varela, that's a travel. She did a hop step to the right.
So, Case, every time NFA runs a ball screen for Erickson, Bacon switches immediately. Can NFA find a mismatch somewhere?
Yeah, and I'll tell you what I think what they'll look to do next time around. That's a nice in and out. Three ball, no good. Tipped around. Taken out of the pack by Erickson. Dumped down into Ingram. Nud, nice defensive job. Doesn't let her go left. That's the thing. Most people overplay the right. Ingram likes to go left. She likes to spin left, use the left hand. And it's right on cue. She goes right. But she didn't make the shot because it wasn't comfortable. Well, that's a beautiful bounce pass, but an even better defensive play by Varela. Up ahead goes Ingram. She's one-on-one with Shea, and basket is good, and the foul. Coach John Shea is saying that Ingram engaged engaged contact first, but initiated, but it will be a basket and a 4-point NFA lead, and Anij Ingram will have a bonus shot. In the future, when they set the high screen, and then Bacon goes to switch, immediately attack the switch and roll to the basket. Right now, they're switching because they're staying high. They're switching above it and staying high. If after the person sets the screen, Bacon goes to switch and they roll hard to the basket, you should be able to at least give Bacon a second guess on whether or not they want to do the switch.
Put the thought in their head.
Yeah. Because they know Erickson wants the three, so they're overplaying the switch to not give up the three. If Erickson set that screen and then went hard to the basket, that would give a different look for him, and I haven't seen that yet. But Courtney Gomez forgot more about basketball on the ride to the game today, than I know. So I'm certainly watching her. There's Nud with a little hook shot in the lane.
Hey, we have not called her by her sister's name yet. This is good.
Well, I won't, because I actually know Marissa better than I know her sister. The Sports Doctor likes to point out that I'm a New London guy, but in fact, I have lived in Colchester longer than I lived in New London.
Get out of here.
Hard to believe, isn't it?
Is that right?
Yeah. I've lived in Colchester since 1996. So
I always thought that the icons of Colchester were Dave Shea, Harry's Place,
100%.
the bakery.
Angelo's is the new bakery.
Yes, and now
the old was
Colchester Bakery.
Oh, yeah.
And now you. We have 4.
Thank you very much. I can make the Mount Rushmore of Colchester. Yes. Varela misses the second 4-point lead. But, being from there, these are all kids that I know they're older. I know their younger siblings. I know them. And the junior voice of Game Day is friends with some of these girls. And Nud, when she was an 8th grader, was like 35 points a game in 8th grade. And being the smart kid that my son is, he befriended her immediately. Said, "You're the best player. I'll be friends with you." But in all seriousness, these kids here have had a lot of success. This Bacon group is used to winning, and the group behind them as well. So I love this matchup because it's again, people don't realize that Bacon's up there in our catchment area, so to speak. And these two teams have a lot of winning between the two of them. Nud fakes the 3, goes back to Violet. Yep, Caitlin Shea back in the ballgame on the baseline. Cross-court pass. Lazat said no. Had the 3, swing it. There's Shea. That's a pass to our camera. We're going to get a sub, and right back into the ballgame goes Kara Shea, who I thought gave really good minutes. And she's going to replace Caitlin Shea, who is going to get an earful from Coach Shea. Four-point NFA lead here, 5:22 remaining. Erickson, 3-ball. Back iron, no good. Chased down by Violet. Running the floor is Violet. Nud now tries to drive and can't, sealed off by Varela. And there's a 3 from Lazat, knocking it down, bringing Bacon to within a point. Oh, there's a beautiful cut by Ingram, but she can't finish. Good look from Varela. I love that cut.
Very patient.
Open 3, no good, but out of bounds off of Erickson. Lutzy tried to knock it down. And we're going to get a timeout. John Shea wants a 30-second timeout with a 1-point deficit. So let's switch gears for a second and talk about the rest of the ECC girls. We've only seen New London struggling which we knew that they would have some ups and downs. There's gonna be more ups than downs moving forward. East Lyme has been up and down. Stonington looks to be a pretty good team.
Felicia Cabral is the interim coach this year. Paula Solar decided she didn't want to coach. Felicia played for Paula and is on her staff, doing a wonderful job. They won. They beat New London the other night. One of the better wins of the year.
And looks like they did it going straight at them too. It was outrunning them, outgunning them, and outperforming them. Waterford up and down. They got some talent, but really, I don't know that there's. Maybe Stonington is that team, but I don't know who the third team is. And there's another good inbounds, but a good defense by Ingram. And I think we're clear on who the best team is.
They have the ball right now.
They do, and I think the second best team is the team playing them right now, trying to show that they're the number one team. I don't know who the next one is. All right, our apologies to all of you who have been patiently listening and watching. We have fixed the sound, and I would like you to know that Mike DeMauro made 7 of the most brilliant, insightful conversation thought pieces that I have ever heard. Have not only resurrected the triangle offense, but I believe Mike may have actually figured out time travel. All on the air. Sorry that none of that will be available to you, but let's have a ball game. A 1-point NFA lead. Bacon with the ball in what we believe is a battle between the two best teams in the ECC. Cross court, Shea, and I think the message is going to come quickly. You can't make that pass. And it looks like we're going to have a mask break. With a mask break and a 1-point lead, you just got our sound back. Come on back on the other side. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com. Production of The Day Publishing Company. If you'd like to support Game Day and help us continue to bring you the best in Connecticut high school sports, please consider purchasing a print or digital subscription to The Day at theday.com/subscribe. So, as always, we want you at home to let us know, where are you watching the game? Send us a photo on Facebook or Twitter, because you know what, Sports Doctor? We want to know who has the best virtual fan section out there. Send us a photo on Facebook or Twitter at Game Day CT, and we're going to include you in the broadcast. I'll tell you, a great basketball game, and the fact that you can all hear us now makes me smile big. You know who else smiles big? Anybody who goes to Waterford Dental Health, because great smiles start there at Waterford Dental Health. Nice cut by Varela, and a beautiful dish, but can't finish. I'll tell you, Varela is really good with the basketball. Coming the other way now. Bacon, there's a three-pointer by Nudd, no good. Strong rebound by Varela. She'll push the tempo up the floor. Pump fake, Loftus, in and out, and Shea with a weak side rebound. Mike, we got to recap all of the things we talked about. I mean, we talked about so many interesting things.
I'll tell you, Case.
Nudd with her own rebound, and that puts Bacon back on top by a point.
It figures that we would say all these really smart things, and no one would hear it.
If Mike DeMauro says something smart and it doesn't make a sound, 3-ball banked hard by Erickson. Instead, a 3 from Barella's no good, but Erickson with the rebound. Bacon's got to get somebody on the glass. Left hand no good. And Shea rips down the rebound for the Bobcats.
They're letting him play, Case.
Oh, that's a great job by Varela. Folks, that is a little bit of a subtle thing. You come up just close enough that the person has to either put the ball down immediately or they stutter step, draw the travel. If you come up any closer, you risk a foul. We're going to get a timeout on the floor, and we'll keep it here. 1-point Bacon lead, 15-14 here in the second period.
I think Courtney Gomez has figured out that Bacon has figured out what they want to do, and she may try to come up with a little wrinkle here.
Yeah, but what does she know? I mean, she's only won every place she's been ever. And I can't, we asked for a long time, how is someone going to replace Bill Scarlatta, right? Like, I mean, it's like, whoever replaces Coach K, whoever replaces, well, is there a better fit? I mean, is there anybody who it's almost like you feel like she's been there for 10 years.
Well, of all the things that Bill did here, which is win 7 state championships, the best thing that he did, perhaps, was recommend that Courtney get the job.
Yeah, I mean, she is such a good fit. Who wouldn't want to play for her? And she's, epitomizes everything about NFA basketball, and she knows what she's doing.
It was really fun to watch Bill in the stands last year.
That's right.
He had more to say to the refs then than he ever did when he was a coach.
Proud Papa, old man in the C style. Ingram can't finish. That was a good pass from Danaeus to the cutting Ingram. Now Nudd pushing the ball the other way for Bacon. Swings. Drive to the basket, hanging, no good. Good defense from Ingram. 2 minutes remaining here in the half. Yeah,
Boy, John is really working Tom Sullivan right now.
I'll tell you, Violette is doing a great job overplaying on Varela.
And they've gone zone, Case.
Yeah, they switched it up to a matchup zone. That's a great cross-court pass. Varela knocks down the 3. Janissa Varela.
I like her. She's a good player.
She is a good player because she knows what she is, and she doesn't try to be anything else. 1:22 remaining, 2-point lead for NFA. Dump down it goes. Spinning. Nudd. Good defense. Erickson pushing the other way. Doesn't have numbers. On the wing. Varela. Got it! Janissa Varela. Back-to-back threes. And Bacon wants a timeout as NFA is off to a 5-point lead.
Look at that. Look at that. I bet I'm guessing that Courtney did that a few times in her career as well.
So this is, in a nutshell, why Janissa Varela is just the exact thing you want in a senior leader on your team, right? And why they're the best team. To start the game, she penetrated, got to the basket, which was clearly the message that Courtney Gomez said, get to the basket. Then she had a wide open 3, chose not to take it, and allowed her cutter to get to the basket and fed them for a layup. Now, on back-to-back possessions, open 3, transition 3, she knocks them both down. She knows what is needed from her each time, and whether it's getting her teammates involved, enforcing her coach's message, or, I'm sure as Courtney just said there, putting their foot on the throat of Bacon.
That's why I always say, Case, if I could pick one position on the floor to have my best player, I want it to be the point guard.
And that's a great point, Mike, and it helps when the point guard can do all kinds of things.
Yes.
Like steal the basketball. Off she goes. Beautiful pass. Travel beforehand. Loftus never quite had it. It's great, but when you have a point guard whose best skill is probably her awareness, not what's going on in the court, but of who needs a touch, of what the game calls for. I like Janissa Varela more and more. Right back the other way. Lutzy knocks down a 3. Under 30 seconds in a very competitive game. Erickson, quick trigger 3. Good! 22 for 3. Back to a 5-point lead. Let's see, pulls a dribble up. Nudd. She's going to walk. Bacon's going to have just under 5 seconds remaining to hold NFA. The Wildcats have 4.8 to try to get a basket here. They're already up 5 in what has been a back-and-forth game. Erickson. Long 3, just short. And we are at halftime. Mike DeMoro will have a quick word with NFA coach Courtney Gomez. Her team has a 5-point lead as we go into the half. Mike.
Court, what would you say worked well for you in that half?
Yeah, I mean, I think just offensively we're standing around too much. We're not moving the ball. We're not executing our stuff. For some reason, we just didn't have the tempo that we like to play with. So, you know, whenever we have foul trouble like that, we kind of have to go to that zone, but I'd like to be able to pick up the tempo a little bit defensively, but I worry about foul trouble. So hopefully in the second half we'll be able to play with less fear and actually get in attack mode, which is what we need.
Awesome. Thanks, Court.
Yep. All right, Mike, thank you so much. 5-point NFA lead. We're at halftime. Now, this is actually really one of the coolest things. The NFA dance team has been unable to appear at halftime all winter long because of the COVID restrictions. You know what? They sent us a video of their performance instead. Take a watch.
Who's hot, who not? Tell me who rock, who sell out in stores. You tell me who flop, who cop the blue drop, who jewel drop, who mostly do them, who black. The same old thing, base, one young chain on the linen. Can't stop till I see my name on the blend. Guarantee me the shelf for the
Welcome back to Alumni Gymnasium on the campus of NFA, where the home Wildcats have a 5-point halftime lead. Casey O'Neill along with Mike DeMoro, and we got some fan photos. We are always looking forward to NFA showing a little shout out for Cassidy White. Let's go NFA. We've asked you all year long where you're watching from. Show us the caves, the living rooms, the COVID towers, wherever it is you've created your viewing space. So I thought that was a very honest answer from Courtney, which is not surprising, but that a little fear of foul trouble kept them in that zone that she didn't really want. She really doesn't want to be in that.
No, what I liked, Case, is I asked her what worked well, and she told us everything that they did wrong.
That's right.
I love that. Listen, I think, again, when you learned under Bill, you learned under Jen Rosati, you don't want to play zone. You want to go after him. What did we say when we came on? NFA has the athletic advantage, so you go after him.
And I think we talked about the big three, Varela, Erickson, and Ingram. Bacon had stopped NFA's transition, forced them into the half-court set, and Bacon was much better then because Varela, they weren't letting her penetrate. They were making sure Erickson didn't have any open looks. But then NFA turned up their defensive pressure, turned Bacon over a couple times, and it was all transition baskets after that.
One of the things that Courtney Gomez had said, and this was a quote in the day the other night, the other day, about how depth is an issue for them. They don't really go all that deep, so she may not be able to play the kind of pressure defense that she wants because, you get tired, and that's not so effective anymore.
Now she played 9 kids in the first half.
She did. She hasn't been though. That's. But
you're getting limited minutes. You have a freshman in Honey Carter. You've got a junior in Danaeus. You've got a sophomore in Loftus. So these are young kids that she's trying to acclimate to the program and get them in a little bit at a time. But you're right, and I would equate it similarly. I think the team that has a chance to be really good on the boys' side faces that same problem, and that's St. Bernard's. I think Mark Jones would love to be a tenacious pressure defensive team, but he goes 6 deep right now. He's trying to find the 7th and 8th person that he can play. So I think that they face a similar thing, that the starting 5 isn't the issue. It's what they can bring in on the other side to have some continuity.
Just as an aside there about St. Bernard, they're having a good year, but they had been winning games, basically scoring in the 50s. They beat Stonington 86 to 83 the other night. I was like, what? I mean, this year has been really, really hard to predict.
Yeah, New London scored 100 on Montville. I didn't think New London could have scored 100 points in a layup line. Just the way that they play, because their offense isn't a quick hit 3-ball offense. Some teams, the matchups are a funny thing. And speaking of matchups, Tuesday night we'll be back here, which turns out to going to be the premier game in the boys with the NFA Wildcats, who are starting to put it together. And I think we saw the grit game, the glue bonding the team together, that win over Fitch, or otherwise known as the Joe Click coming out party. Yep. And against East Lyme.
And they're just killing people right now.
When he said it was the best, there's a steal right off the rip. Varela, good look to Erickson. She wants the 3. Got it! Sarah Erickson starts the second half like she ended the first, knocking down a triple.
She's got 9.
That's it. That's divisible by 3.
Right. Don't start with the math though.
We'll talk launch angle later, Mike. And there's another steal by Ingram. And she loses it to Violet and loses it to Varela. Varela to a cutting Erickson. And NFA will reset. Jeff Bernardi said it was the best defensive team he's ever had. I scoffed, and then they held Waterford to like 25 points.
Case, we saw not long ago Waterford score that many points in a quarter against Prince Tech in the semis.
We saw Waterford score that many points against New London in a quarter in their comeback. I mean, Waterford can score the basketball. East Lyme defensively very, very good. Erickson will go to the line. She'll shoot 2, and right now the game is in danger. Right now, Coach John Shea has got to find a way to right the ship, as NFA has pulled out to an 8-point lead with an excellent free throw shooter at the line.
Sarah's mom, Kate, runs Learn, the educational organization. My son goes to a Learn school, and they have done an absolutely wonderful job this year with the COVID stuff.
And she knocks down both, giving NFA their biggest lead of the ball game at 10. Lutzy. Cross-court pass, dangerous. Lutzy holds, drives, blocked by Ingram. Erickson comes out with it. Numbers. Reset, nice job. Touch passes, everyone sharing the basketball. Ingram drives, can't get it to go, and it'll be tipped off the hands of Nudd out of bounds. It'll stay NFA ball.
It's a 14-3 run right now.
Yeah, Bacon had that
It
1
was
point lead.
15-14.
Yeah, Bacon had that 1 point lead and looked like they had really figured things out. And in the corner, oh, shooter's touch can't go, but Daly rips down the rebound, and we'll get tied up. It'll stay here. Varela will inbound. There's a cut. She forces it into Ingram, who gets her own rebound, and it's stolen away out of bounds off of Violet.
I'm sorry, they get a kick out of John Shea. Tom Sullivan doesn't.
No. Ingram goes to the basket. She's going to draw the foul.
Here he
John Shea works the referees 12 minutes before the game starts.
Hey, so what do you think is the most difficult sport to coach? Baseball, football, or basketball?
Oh, man. I mean, that's a great question.
I try to ask them.
You should be a columnist or a reporter or a journalist of some kind. I personally find basketball to be very challenging.
I was just going to say that, yeah.
Now that might be because I feel baseball is more digestible. 3 back iron and a nice touch as Shea gets it to go, and Bacon needed those points, something fierce. I'm not a football coach, but I think football is, like anything else, the higher you go up, it changes. So Erickson for 3, back iron, no good. Great rebound by Shea, and she's going to get fouled by Cassidy White. A little sportsmanship there, very nice. I think football at the youth level is not necessarily complicated. I think that baseball at the youth level, not necessarily complicated. I think basketball becomes complicated even at a younger level. But I think as you get up, and I think each coach of each sport, I'd like to ask somebody who coaches multiple sports, which is them. Back iron, no good for Shea. Erickson. Man, she can score the basketball.
She's got 12 to lead NFA.
Steal the other direction with Nudd. Basket is good, and the foul. Sarah Erickson can do it all, and she loves the spotlight. .12 lead. So we should let everyone know that in the highlight package after the game, there will be sound. So for those that, as well as the full replay of the game. So the sound issue that affected us in the early going will be fixed, and there will be sound in both the replay and the full replay of the basketball game. So that's the good news, number one, there will be sound. Number two, over the course of our years on game day, there have been certain players who just seem to show up every time we're here. And Sarah Erickson is one of them. She has had her best games on game day. I'll look at the day, and she does it all. We think, Mike, that it's usually her three-point ability, but there she steps in, picks it up, and goes on one-on-one with a bigger Nudd, and look how athletic that is.
Draws the contact. Yeah, that's a good play.
The senior can really do it all, and what's funny is I'll tune into the day and I'll look at the online and I'll see, NFA wins. Sarah Erickson scored 8 points, and I'm like, 8 points? She scores 8 points in 15 seconds when she's on game day.
Well, they love having us here.
Well,
come on.
There are certain players though who have always seemed to show up on game day.
Do you think there are people out there right now going, we liked it better when there was no sound?
Of course there is, although my mom says you look very handsome.
Oh, well, tell her she's, I can tell her. What am I saying? You're too kind.
She says you're doing a fine job in the seat of the doctor.
I am no sports doctor, though.
You are, however, a sports psychologist. In the corner it goes, which is the same as a sports doctor. 13-point NFA lead. Bacon needs to get some offense going here. Shea picks up her dribble and Varela with a steal. NFA has definitely turned up the defensive pressure here in the second half. Oh, look at the look to Ingram. Left hand can't go, and the rebound from Nudd. But Varela put that ball in a perfect scoring position. And there's a steal by Erickson. Off to the races with Violet. No good. Great defense by Victoria Violet. And Lutzy comes out of the pack with the ball. Pull up from the foul line. Knocks it down. That's an important sequence for Bacon. It's 11. It could have been 15.
I'd be interested here, Case, to see how look at that.
Oh, basket is good and the foul.
These guards, Case. Erickson's got 15 and Varela's got 11. That's 26 out of 36.
Well, I think that's a set play right there against man, where they flashed up like they were going to set the screen, and everybody, as it basically was a clear out, and just Varela just beats her off the dribble, but it was really well executed. Everybody moved like they were going to set screens, and as soon as the movement started, Varela just went, and she had that corner. 14-point lead for NFA.
The point I was making before, Case, what is Bacon's wind? You know, what's the conditioning going to be as we get deeper?
Shea misses the three. Erickson tied up with Lutzy. It will stay Bacon ball.
Again, Thursday was their first practice since February 15th.
Yeah, he's had 2.
That's tough.
2 in almost a month.
That's so hard.
We have a mask break and a 14-point Wildcat lead. Join us for Game Day coming back on the other side. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com. Game Day is a production of The Day Publishing Company. If you'd like to support Game Day and help us continue to bring you the best in Connecticut high school sports, please consider purchasing a print or digital subscription to The Day at theday.com/subscribe. So, as always, we want you at home to let us know, where are you watching the game? Send us a photo on Facebook or Twitter, because you know what, Sports Doctor? We want to know who has the best virtual fan section out there. Mm-hmm. Send us a photo on Facebook or Twitter at GameDayCT, and we're going to include you in the broadcast. Oh, the beautiful Rachel Giusti. And I want to say thank you for taking in a homeless person. That's such a nice... Oh, wait a minute. That's Coach Chris Giusti. I don't recognize him without a shirt and tie and a matching belt. He did well
the
for
red
yourself.
shoes.
You did well for yourself, Coach Giusti. We were talking about you earlier, Coach, with the boys Tuesday night. We'll see him against East Lyme. And I think he found something that night against Fitch, where they figured out how to grit and come together as a team. And I have been maintaining all year long that I believe NFA is the best team.
You said that, Case. Yeah. No, we'll give you the credit for that one.
3 was in and out from Lutzy. Varela runs the floor. Hands were up by Lutzy, but back into Varela's hands.
All right, Case. Let's think about the NFA Bacon rematch. All right, and there's a good chance they're going to see each other again. When you have two guards like this who are dominating the game, what is John Shea's adjustment?
So 3 things. The first adjustment is time. You nailed it earlier. They haven't played enough. They haven't practiced enough. They haven't played enough teams. So the first adjustment is just time. The second adjustment is health. Let's not forget, a big part of their team last year was Emma Mancuso, and she's back. She'll be back by that game off of the broken nose. So full team, more time. Those are the 2 biggest adjustments. I think the third adjustment is not on the offensive end, or I shouldn't say not on the defensive end. It's on the offensive end, because their guards are doing fine. These are all turnovers, as Varela shows with the left hand. NFA is just turning them over and getting into transition. When Bacon doesn't turn the ball over, or Bacon runs a good offensive set, defensively they've been fine. Right. There's a great cut by Nudd, but Right now, this is a 17-point lead fueled entirely on NFA's defense. So I don't think that they necessarily need to adjust to the guards defensively. I think they need to adjust offensively to stop turning it over. 3 in and out from Lutzy. Ingram with the rebound.
Whatever Coach Gomez said at the half worked.
Well, she said all the things that they weren't doing right, and now they're doing them all right. A little high-low. Ingram, kick out. Erickson, 3. No good. Rebound from Loftus. Varela pump fakes, drives. Basket is no good, but she'll draw the foul on Carachet and go to the line.
They've been sensational, the both of them.
Well, you got senior guards, and you can do a lot of things. You know, right now, they have the kind of big 4. They've got 4 seniors in the starting 5 and a point guard and a shooting guard who have played together and really know what they're doing. They knock down shots. They make heads-up plays, and this NFA team's good. I mean, there's no two ways around it. They're a good team. Caitlin Shea, the senior, checking back in for Bacon Academy. But I do think that this is going to be the rematch we'll see again in the ECCs. Despite being down, 18 points, I think this is a very good Bacon team. And I just think it's, I don't think anyone can figure. Remember how bad? Nice in and out. Nudd drives. Wild shot. Rebound by Nudd. Put back, and she'll go to the line to shoot 2. Do you remember the first 2 games we did? And we were like, oh my goodness, this is really bad basketball.
Yes.
And it wasn't because it was bad teams. It was because there a year's worth of rust for most of these teams they had no preseason, they had no practices, and it was a real struggle. The basketball of late has been much better. Well, Bacon right now is kind of in that same mode that all those teams were to start the year. They've had 2 games, no practices. I mean, they're just now getting themselves back together.
I think that really applies to the boys right now, Case. In this shortened season, if you can find something you do really well, you're way ahead of the game. NFA, as an example, that 3-2 zone, they play it really well.
Well, I don't think it's a secret that the 2 teams that play the best defense are the 2 teams at the top of the league.
Absolutely.
NFA and East Lyme. Because in a year where everyone's struggling to kind of get that rust off like we just talked about, if you can play defense, and those 2 teams can, great cross-court pass by Erickson. Danaeus with a rebound, and it's going to be a jump ball stays here with NFA. If you can play defense at that elite level, then right now is the time to do it because teams just don't have the ability to score like they have. Oh, great look. Ingram spins, no good. Somehow, Varela gets the rebound and gets another one. Point guard going in the paint. Ingram, pull up from 8 feet, knocks it down smoothly.
A lot of room. They gave her a lot of room.
20-point lead. Hard to believe this was a 1-point Bacon lead not that long ago. 1 and done. Ingram with a rebound. I'll tell you, the last 2 times that Bacon has run into NFA, they have run into a buzzsaw. Remember how well NFA played in the ECC final last year? Oh, give and go, and the basket is good from Ingram. Beautiful pass from Loftus to Ingram, and it's good.
There's nothing better for a coach than to run a play exactly the way you practiced it. And that was it right there.
Danaeus has done great job. Ingram has been fantastic around the basket. And right now, with under a minute remaining in the period, NFA doing everything right. The message at halftime, it was only a 5-point game at halftime. What a third quarter for NFA.
It's 23-5, Case.
That's a heck of a quarter. High screen, dump down, Nudd, bullies, gets tied up. It'll stay with Bacon. That was good defense. Nudd tried to bully her way to the basket.
And this score, people who vote in the in the top 10 poll will notice this.
Yeah, when number 17 gets beat by 23, I mean that says a lot. The thing is I think Bacon's deserving of it. They got to play more games. Nothing against my Whalers. I did not think that they were deserving of that ranking when we started the season, game one.
Reputation.
That's a exactly.
Yeah.
But this Bacon team is good, and I think they're a top 10 team. NFA is just working them over.
Yes. Which they've been known to do for the last 30 years.
Well, like I said, right now, Coach John Shea, I think, has seen all he can have of NFA at this point. Blocked by Ingram, but she's going to foul Lutzy, and Lutzy will shoot 2.
You know what I notice in your case, or what I don't notice, is where are all the banners? Championship banners. I don't see any.
Have they ever had championship banners here?
Yes. Bill Scarlatta has 7 of them.
No. Have they ever put them up?
Oh, yes. They used to be over
okay.
the basket that Bacon is shooting at. They always had the state championship banners.
No, I wasn't asking if they had state championships. Yeah. They've won them in baseball. They've won them in basketball. And they've won them in many other sports of which I can't name, but they have. I know.
A lot of track and cross country.
Yeah. But no, I just honestly don't, because we go to so many different gyms. I didn't really remember them seeing them. And I'll tell you why in a minute. As Erickson fakes it. Oh, what a beautiful pass. NFA is feeling so confident right now, moving the basketball. Everybody touching it. There's a screen for Erickson. Pump fakes the 3. Step back 3 at the buzzer. Back iron, no good. Rebound. And we're at the end of 3. What a quarter for NFA, a 22-point lead. Fourth quarter action. Can the Bobcats come back? You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
Okay, class. What do you want to be when you grow up? Jace.
I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be a ballerina. I want to be an astronaut. I want to be homeless. I want to hear scary voices no one else can hear. I want to be addicted to drugs. I want to be an actress. I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a football player. I want to be an actor.
Not one child has dreams of these things becoming a reality. Sometimes choices are set before we even have a voice.
With Sound Community Services, I found my voice.
Welcome back. Game Day is brought to you by Waterford Dental Health. At Waterford Dental Health, our entire team is dedicated to providing you the personalized, convenient, and affordable dental care you and your family deserve. Mike, you know where Waterford Dental Health is located?
177 Boston Post Road in Waterford.
That is correct. Waterford Dental Health. You know, Janessa Varela has been unbelievable. The guards in the lane all night. Left hand, she can finish, she can shoot it. She has been outstanding. Senior Janessa Varela has been a highlight package tonight for NFA. All right, what's Bacon going to draw up coming out of the break here at the end of 3, down 22? They're going to draw up a three-pointer, but it's going to be in and out and rebounded by Loftus. Here comes Varela. Varela to the basket, draws the foul on Violet, and Janessa Varela will shoot 2.
I think that play works. We'll keep that one.
Yeah. So a little shout out to Coach Mike Morgan out there, who said that NFA is all about the second half. And he said that they were going to turn it on, and they certainly have done that, because that's about as good a third quarter as we've seen, either boys, girls, or in between. We have not seen a third quarter like that.
One of my favorite guards ever, by the way.
There's a long 3 from Lutzy, no good. Rebounded, Lazat. Ball's on the floor. Erickson comes out of the pack with it. being hounded by Lutzy. Varela, beautiful look to Daly. Kick out Erickson for 3. Strong. Rebound Shea. Nudd. And we're going to get a walk as Marissa Nudd, the very talented sophomore at Bacon Academy, has had her hands full tonight. And Nija Ingram has been outstanding.
From what I can remember, Case, Ingram, very improved.
Yes, doing a little bit of everything now. She's very good around the basket, but defensively she has been rock solid. There's a little high-low with Varela. Varela, step back, straightaway shot, short, gets her own rebound, puts it to the floor, and she's going to get fouled and go to the line. Fouls on Lutzy. I'll tell you what, her initials might be JV, but Janissa Varela is all varsity here tonight. She is putting on a bit of a show.
She's also going to sleep well, I think tonight.
I get the feeling
she's been on the floor the entire game.
But I'm going to take a moment here to be the head of the Janissa Varela fan club. To start the game as the point guard, she went to the basket because that's what Courtney Gomez said we need to do. Then she made sure she got touches to the other people on the team that needed touches, including a couple of great looks on cuts to the basket. Then she knocked down some open threes to extend their lead. And then in the second half, all she's done is get to the basket whenever she wants, about 5 offensive rebounds and about 5 steals. So I don't know what more you could ask for. She has been outstanding. Oh, there's Ingram. All the way to the basket. And right now, NFA is jumping every one of these passing lanes. They're cutting in front of all. They have about 9 steals here in the second half. Lutzy did a nice job, drew contact on Erickson, and she'll go to the line. So next week, a little bit of an interesting schedule, Mike. We're going to go Tuesday or Wednesday, it looks like. And I'm very excited about both games for different reasons. First, on Tuesday, we'll be right back here at NFA, where my temperature was a robust 94.5 today because I was outside coming in the cold. We're going to get NFA East Lyme, and that to me is fascinating because that could be 19-17 for a final in that game, because those are the 2 best defensive teams we've seen. No one's been able to attack that 3-2 zone of NFA yet, and I think East Lyme has a chance because I like Velakos' size at guard. I like Gaida's scoring around the basket. But let's not forget how good defensively East Lyme is. That's going to be I'm very fascinated by that game. Then on Wednesday, I'm really excited for multiple reasons, not the least of which is we're going to get a chance to see the new gymnasium at St. Bernard's High School. And that St. Bernard's New London game will feature 6 of the most exciting guards you're going to see. And we're going to see Tyson Wheeler playing against the New London Whalers, against a Pemberton, a Perry. It's going to be guard central. But I'm also very happy because I believe St. Bernard's has a chance to be a special team. We'll see how much development Mark Jones has gotten from the Saints.
So if I'm right, Case, I think, but it's saying that you grew up when those 2 schools despised each other.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That was a major rivalry.
Harold Presley, Greg Hall. For anybody, and as Nudd knocks down the first one, anybody my age will say, when someone brings up Harold Presley, the great Harold Presley's name, the first thing anyone from New England go, yeah, Greg Hall owned him for 4 quarters, dragged him around. How about when Greg Hall dunked on him? Underneath Erickson, beautiful look to Cassidy White. Now back out to Varela. So yes, New London and St. Bernard's, no bueno. Straightaway 3 from Ingram. What can't she do tonight? Everything going right.
So I think I said this on air. It could have been off. If NFA wins out, they're going to finish number 1.
Yeah, I think so.
That'd be great.
Ingram spins. Can't get it to finish. They were trying to go up to a 30-point lead, Mike. There goes Nudd to the basket, and she'll draw contact from Ingram and shoot 2, Marissa Nudd. No, you're right. I think the only game left on the schedule that would be interesting would, I'm about to say this one, and they have a 30-point lead right now. So, they're doing all kinds of work against these teams.
And this year, the finals will be at the higher seed.
So they'll be here.
The lower seed, actually. Yeah, so they'll be here. So now, somebody's going to have to beat NFA in this gym to win the league.
So it's the higher seed, but it's a lower number.
Yeah, I don't know how.
But it's the
works.
higher seed.
Right. Okay.
Because it's ranking. So number 1 is the higher seed, but it's the lower number.
Right.
I know. Let's make it. Why make it harder?
Well, I don't want to be a bull in a china closet,
Varela misses. Rare miss from her, and here comes Nudd.
What would we do without him?
I don't want to find out. That's my guy. Sports Doctor makes every broad. Listen, this has been a pleasure, Mike, but I haven't picked on you. And I'm missing ability to pick on the Sports Doctor. So 4:24 remaining, a 27-point lead for NFA. That's hard to believe.
It was 23-18 at the half.
And it was 18-17, I think, Bacon at one point as well.
Yeah.
Got a technical foul, so Sarah Erickson will go to the line and shoot the technicals.
And based on the fact that John Shea is sitting down for the first time all night, I'm assuming that it was on him.
Erickson calmly knocks the first one down. She'll have one more. And that time she was kind enough to hit the rim, but still knocks both down for a 29-point lead for NFA. Ingram, there's the cut. Varela waited for her. There's Erickson with 3. Good. Sarah Erickson with another 3-pointer, and the lead is now 32.
They're asking John Shea to sit. NFA, we know they're well coached, but they play like it.
They do. We'll talk more about that. We have a mask break here at NFA. Come on back. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com. We're back, and you're watching Game Day. Game Day, of course, is sponsored by Waterford Dental Health. Waterford Dental Health voted the #1 best dental practice 6 years in a row by the day's Best of the Best Reader's Choice Awards, which is why your smile and your health are their top priority. Great smiles start at Waterford Dental Health. All night long, Mike, that's what we've seen, NFA in the passing lanes.
That's your post player doing that.
Yeah, your center.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
We've seen Erickson do it. Well, the big 3. We've seen Erickson do it, Varela do it. There's Ingram doing it. She said, wait a minute, I can do that.
You forgot to mention that at 177 Boston Post Road.
Waterford Dental Health?
Yeah.
Under 4 minutes remaining in the game. Nudd wants the ball in the post. She gets it. Spins right. Scoop shot no good. Rebound Shea and taken away by Erickson. Bacon goes on the floor, ball loose. And nice job by Jana Nolt.
Case, did you think we would be able to get this far into the season with so few COVID issues?
Nope.
I know there is one at Fitch right now, and at Bacon for the boys, but for the most part, everything's kind of been on schedule.
Yeah, I did not. I thought that the basketball was going to be dicey. I thought it was going to be a lot of teams quarantining. I thought it was going to be similar to soccer, where all of a sudden you just have teams dropping. The good news is that, I mean, it would be terrible if the Fitch boys, because that's a good team.
Yeah.
The good news is that, I mean, I feel like we've gotten a pretty good handle on the league right now, and credit as Lutzy buries a 3 for Bacon. I give credit to the athletic departments and the schools in general, because, I mean, the safety's been number one. We've, whether it's temperature checks and health screens to stopping games to get masks up over the noses of players. I mean, it's been really well done. The positivity rate in the state down below 2%. Governor opening up a lot more. I know people were interested in what spring sports would look like. It looks like spring sports are going to be a go. And I think that none of that, honestly, I don't think you would have gotten there if it weren't for the great work that they did with these winter sports. If we had outbreaks in the winter, I think that would have put a lot of caution into the spring. So a lot of credit to the winter sports guy. I remember talking with Jimmy Bunicor, the AD assistant principal, and sort of the committee chair of all things ECC sports. As Julia Barry gets fouled, she'll go to the line. And we were talking back in the fall during soccer about what would basketball like. He's like, yeah, we're going to try basketball. And I was like, how does that even look? And he was talking about mask breaks and sanitizing the ball. And back then they were talking about 8 quarters instead of 4 quarters, splitting them up. Then they said, no, we'll move to mask, we'll do mask breaks instead. And talking about, could kids be at the line together? And I remember that conversation thinking to myself, there's no way this is going to happen. We left Stonington High School. Sports doctor said to me, we're going to have basketball? And I said, no, there's no chance we have basketball. So credit to them, because we have, and it's been really outstanding.
8 quarters, huh?
Okay, technically it can't be a quarter. All right, that's like my end-over-end soccer ball. Peter Wappy likes to point out. Okay, so you can't have 8 quarters.
That's something your partner would say.
I missed that, Pete. You got that one. I totally missed that one.
8 periods instead of 4. And if a train left Chicago going 26 miles an hour, that's great.
Well, because it's interesting to me that everything that you just said, spot on. And yet, it seems like I hear more parents complain that they can't get into the gym to watch their kids play, instead of the fact that their kids are actually getting a chance to play, which is kind of the point.
Some new faces into the ball game, and one of them will go to the foul line. So, you're right, Mike. And I get where parents are coming. First of all, when you're dealing with a subject where a high percentage of parents don't find any of this to be troubling at all anyway, so they just want to be in the gym because, then you've got...
It's a hoax.
Then you've got parents, even if it's not a hoax, even if it's just like, well, I'm not that worried about it kind of a thing, But then even the most sort of cautious of parent will throw that away to get in the gym to see their kid, right? So even the one who's double masking and wiping down their groceries, and they're like, well, I'm going to the game. So it kind of, parents kind of lose sight of that because they want to see their kid play. That being said, I think right now the best way to watch your kid play is live on game day.
Me too.
Let's see. Gets the ball stolen. A little double dribble. We're down to 1 minute and 5 seconds, and the Bacon Academy will send in some of its subs. Maddox Burton will get checked into the ball game, and Emily Ferrigno will check into the ball game. Also into the ball game for Bacon will be Grace Saldana.
If you are going to like the St. Bernard gym, by the way,
I'm looking forward to it.
Very well lit, looks a lot different.
Ariel Nair into the game also for Bacon. Dump down to Shea. And she'll go to the line to shoot 2. She's fouled by Honey Carter. Yeah, I'm looking forward to St. Bernard's. I know they've done a lot of work there at St. Bernard's. Had conversations with Don Macrino about the upgrades. The gym was one of the first ones, and they're working on the fields. When we were doing soccer, they were going through the bleachers were being replaced, and so I know a lot of work's being done athletically at St. Bernard's to go along with the great academics that are already there, and the enrollment is increasing a little bit.
There's 2 schools that I enjoy when they're good. New London and St. Bernard. Everybody wants to beat New London, and there was a time everybody couldn't stand St. Bernard.
Well,
it's fun.
My good friend Bill Bassetto, St. Bernard's grad that he is, up ahead. Ferrigno ahead of the pack, and the layup no good, but the rebound by Shea also no good. Back when St. Bernard's had Brooke Fordyce and Ronnie Vargas and Bassetto and they were baseball teams. They were so good, and they were back when they played in the ACC.
Yeah.
And we still sitting. So this is a true story. 2 years ago, sitting around a bonfire, Ray Pabone, John McCula, Mike Suzy, Isaac Lazaro, and J.J. Conan, St. Bernard's guy, and the debate of the great New London team that I was on in 1987, number 1 team in the state championship, Brian Mercado and Bobby Nena. And Billy Bassetto goes, that team would have finished 4th in the ACC.
Well, I hate this. I wouldn't say 4th, but it wouldn't have been a lock to win the ACC.
Oh, that was such a good conference.
I was there in those days, and I know.
It was so good. No, it was a great conference. The baseball was outstanding. Chris Ward and Adrian Clark, and those teams were great. Those St. Bernard's teams were outstanding. But you want to watch a group of Whalers go nuts.
Yeah, I bet.
Down under 10 seconds remaining here. And what has been a 30-point and emphatic NFA win. And Honey Carter was trying to do the right thing. And she gets nailed with a double dribble. And so Bacon will run out the clock. And there's your final. A emphatic win for the number 1 team in the state. A 30-point blowout over the number 7 team in the state. NFA over Bacon Academy. Mike DeMoro is going to have head coach Courtney Gomez along with the Waterford Dental Health player of the game. As always, we remind you to check out the highlights as well as the full replay of tonight's game, which will have complete sound on both. They'll be available later, and of course, you're going to want to check out the Waterford Dental Health play of the game as well. Tuesday night, we'll be back here at NFA for the NFA boys and the East Line boys, and Wednesday at St. Bernard's for the St. Bernard Saints and the New London Whalers in boys basketball. But a 30-point win, and Mike DeMoro is going to have a chance now to talk with Courtney Gomez as well as senior guard Janissa Varela. First, Coach Gomez. That's a head coach. She says, go talk to Janissa Varela first. Mike, the Waterford Dental Health player of the game, senior Janissa Varela.
It seemed as though you could get to the hoop whenever you wanted tonight. And how big of a part of the game plan was that?
Well, we definitely knew that their defense, their help was going to be stronger this game, and that they packed the inside more. So coaches told me to try and pull up a little bit, but on transition, that was definitely the main idea.
Okay. Beating the number 7 team in the state, that's a good thing. Beating them by as many as you guys beat them by, could you talk a little bit about you guys really kind of put it to them.
Yeah, well, we just play with everything that we have. Our coaches expect so much of us, and we expect a lot from ourselves because we know what we want. So we just push ourselves every day.
All right. Does this mean anything to you? If you guys win out, you're probably going to finish number 1 in the state.
Yeah, it means a lot to us because we work hard every day in practice, and we just communicate with each other, and we just try to keep ourselves in the game, and we just don't give up. So.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks.
The Waterford Dental Health player of the game. And now we're going to bring Coach Gomez in when she's done. When she's done, here she comes.
Ask her if she could beat Janissa Verla off the dribble.
All right, Court. First thing.
Yep.
I just asked Janessa this. There's beating the number 7 team in the state. Then there's doing it by 30.
Yeah.
Like, what does that mean?
Yeah, I mean, we knew Bacon, whether they were quarantined or not, would be well coached, very disciplined. They move the ball well. They all shoot. So, yeah, I mean, every game we play, we prepare like it's the best team we're going to play, and Bacon certainly is the best team that we've seen so far. So, of course, it feels great to, get a signature win in the ECC, but it also feels good to do it the way that we did it in the second half. As a coach, I'm thinking about how much better they're going to be when we eventually see them again. But I am trying to enjoy it and be proud of the fact that the kids really they're just mentally and physically ready to compete in big games. And there's a big difference in my mind from this year to last year is when things didn't go their way, they played with fear. And this year, when things don't go their way, it doesn't faze them. They figure out a way to persevere through it. And a lot of that comes from the leadership of Janissa. It comes from the leadership of Sarah. It comes from the leadership of Anasia. And they just want more. You know what I mean? So it's like every game, every practice, they want to be challenged. And I love that because I'm like, I have to constantly think of ways to make them uncomfortable, to be able to get them to figure out how to get through that stuff in games. And when you're a really good team, like as a coach, I feel like, and as a player, I feel like when we were really good, we always wanted more. Like we always wanted to be challenged more. And that's what they want. So it's really fun to coach them because I can get on them and I can love them at the same time. And then I can put them in situations that like they're constantly finding ways to basically beat me out of them, So it's just been really fun.
So how do you challenge your 2 guards who basically did whatever they wanted?
Yeah, sometimes in practice, I mean, it's hard because they're always the hardest workers in the gym. But for example, like Janissa tonight, she didn't really look for her shot until I told her they're not going to let you get to the basket if they can. They're well coached and we're well scouted. So you need to be able to shoot the basketball. Whether you miss or not is our chance to offensive rebound. So challenging her to step up in the big moments to take shots. We know she can get to the rim. But the fact that she made those 2 big threes in the first half was huge. And then for Sarah, it's just challenging her in a way of elevating her basketball IQ. She's always been an unbelievable hard worker, but when, preparing her for the next level, how do you read screens? How do you know what the defense is going to do? You know that they're not going to let you get open shots if they scout you right because you're a great shooter. So how do you get yourself open? How do you get yourself involved when those things are happening? And they're hungry to learn, so.
And last one, if you win out, you're probably going to finish number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean anything to you right now on March, whatever it is?
Yeah, I mean, I know we were talking about this earlier. It's like, of course it does. I think it's really an amazing recognition for the girls and for the school. And for me, like, I was on NFA teams that were number 1, and I'm trying to handle it like I did when I was a player, and it was, be confident but not arrogant, respect your opponents but don't fear them, and that's kind of the stuff I'm trying to instill in the girls, whereas, you've earned a spot to be considered one of the best teams in the state, but now we have to continue to play like it every night, and we have to continue to challenge ourselves to get better every single day. So they have been a lot of fun this year, and I'm super proud of them. And, we'll take it day by day, game by game, and hopefully we'll continue to progress.
Awesome. Court, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys.
Awesome. Case, back to you.
Thank you, Mike. A 30-point victory tonight for the NFA Wildcats. Number 1 team in the state of Connecticut. They showed it and played like it tonight. They were something else. We'll be back here Tuesday night for the boys East Lyme at NFA, and then Wednesday night at St. Bernard's, New London, and St. Bernard's. Again, full replay is available along with highlights in the upcoming hours. With sound, you'll have it. So please tune in on social media, as always, for the Waterford Dental Health play of the game as well. For Mike DeMoro, Peter Wappy, and the crew, I am Casey O'Neill saying good night, everybody.